We talk about globalization. Well, you're living in it. The world is globalized. So the next comment is monetize it. In other words, convert it into wealth. You're at the right age, at the right place at West Valley College. You're getting a start of understanding how to venture out from a local perception. How do you reach the world? My name is Carlos. I represent the Greater San Jose Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're a national business organization. In fact, we're a global business organization as of today. Our membership spreads throughout the world, into China, India, Indonesia, all of South America, Central Mexico. We have memberships. And the reason is globalization. You learn from Suji some of the elements that go into exporting, or importing rather. He gave you some names which are very, very important for you to get acquainted with. One is export.gov. Just go into that and start getting an impression and an idea of what it is that we export. And the U.S. exports everything. Everything. From intellectual property to every single type of product. It's important to understand this, and Suchi mentioned this. The U.S., very little does it export. Less than 1% of the small businesses in the U.S. export. And there are 30 million small businesses in the U.S. When you take, by comparison, Germany, it's over 50%, 60%. And that's why they're the third largest exporting country in the world. China, their youth, they're heavily involved in the whole process of exporting. That's why they're the number one in the world. And the U.S., because of its presence, is number two exporting. And yet, the U.S. has probably the best infrastructure in the world. The U.S. has the largest manufacturing base in the world. Not China, it's the U.S. It's dormant.
Good morning,
Hard to say closed. But the U.S. is set up. And with the initiative of President Obama, the export initiative to double exports, he's getting involved. Every federal agency is involved in contacting the small businesses and saying, get involved, get involved. That's why we represent small businesses, and we're connected with the federal government. We travel quite a bit on our own. We pay our own tickets, but we have the opportunity to go through, provided by the State Department, Department of Commerce, Export-Import Bank, to get acquainted with the markets abroad. We're connecting our small businesses like yourselves. Each and every one of you is a business person right now. It's just a matter of solidifying what it is that you want to do. Let me give you an example. Let's pretend that we're all members of the chamber, all of us here. We're going to go through the process that we take our new members through to get acquainted, because we have, let's say, a restaurant owner says, well, I got a restaurant. What do I know about the export? We'll teach you. It's not that complicated. Today, with your iPhone, with your iPad, that's really what we need. You have everything there. That's your office. That's my office. We connect with the world. We're connected with the world. That's a matter of learning. My good friend here mentioned a mentor from the SBDC. Mm-hmm. The SBDC, Small Business Development Center, you have one here in San Jose. I would suggest that you go there and get acquainted with them. With the CITD, the Center for International Trade, we have one in San Mateo. And again, they're available to teach us, in most cases for free, how to export. The CITD will teach you both, how to export and how to import. The SBDC is more into the exports. But we have at our fingertips all the support systems to get involved into the business. Go ahead, continue. Does anybody have any questions? Or any ideas? Or any interest?
Maybe eventually, but it's not in my plans right now. Right now I'm trying to finish school.
Well, good, and I think that's great. And remember, this is a process. You're just getting acquainted. This is just a process. And maybe 5 years from now, you may say, yeah, I'm going to look into it. But the seed has been planted, and that's what's important. In our trips, when we were able to go and see different countries, what really stands out is how much we have here, in everything, in every sense of the word, that's needed abroad. No matter what country we've gone to, U.S.-made products are well respected. People pay more money for U.S.-made products than a cheaper product. Why? Because it comes with a guarantee. They know that it's a well-built product. So we have acceptance, and that's very important. Because some people compete on price, and we don't compete on price. We compete on value. And that's how we had an opportunity to sell 4,000 buses to Central America, and we're competing with China. China offered a no-interest loan, and the buses are half the price. We still got the contract because the buses here are guaranteed to last, and they're school buses. That's what they use for transportation in Latin America. And I said, proof is, just look outside the highway. You still have school buses that are 30 years old. They're still working. Mm-hmm. And these brand new buses will last a long time. I was sharing with one of our instructors here that a few years ago we co-sponsored 20 community students from different community colleges to go to Argentina for 10 days, just to get acquainted, just to break them in and to realize what's happening in the world. And some of them came back. I mean, all of them came back. All of them came back, but some of them really got excited to do the research and to see how they could get involved in dealing with foreign countries. Same thing with many of you, we suggest. In most of our trips, we take an intern, one or two, from one of the community colleges with us, whether it be to Germany, South America, so they can get acquainted with what's happening in the world. The world is changing. The world is globalized. Come June of next year, we're going to Kenya. In the world scene today, the continent that promises quite a bit is Africa. Africa's starting to boom, starting to really pick up steam. And the U.S. government is sponsoring projects for us to get involved in Kenya and Ghana, 2 countries. What that means is that if you were our members, we would share with you, here are the opportunities, how many of you would like to get involved in this opportunity with Ghana or Kenya? And that's how we do the process. And with the members say, okay, I want to do that project in Mexico. We get the funding from Washington. Now, these are projects, we're not talking about export, we're talking about doing projects, housing, building factories. In Kenya, one of the 2 projects that we're going to be involved in are going to create jobs in Kenya, are a juice processing plant for orange juice. The other one is a fish processing plant with all the chain, that is the refrigeration of the trucks and etc. The financing comes from here. The co-ownership is amongst our members and the counterparts in Kenya. So it's a shared profit scheme. What that does for our members, it creates an additional income stream. And if any of you here are considering getting into business, one of the major drivers of getting into business is to create your own wealth, become financially independent. But the key is to have multiple streams of income. Because if one stream dries up,
You have others to fall back on.
exactly. Now in Brazil, how many here are familiar with the Amazon River? Okay, the width of California is 237 miles. That's the width of California. The width of the Amazon River at some points is 400 miles. It's 4,000 miles long. What's interesting, we went up in the upper part of South America to look where the river starts, the springs. And they're small rivulets. They're just small little streams. You say, what? That's the Amazon? That's the Amazon right there. What happens? It has millions of these little streams. That's the whole point I want to make here. That it's the multiple streams that create the huge Amazon River. And that's business too. If you develop multiple streams, if you develop a consciousness that I need to have multiple streams. And that's where exports come in, imports come in. The U.S. is one of the major importers of the world. It's the best market the world has. For China, for India, or Latin America, it's the U.S. It's a growing market. It's a never-ending market. So there's an opportunity here to consider what can I bring from X country that will sell here. We have an example here, and I really appreciate your product. I think that's creative. It really is. And think of it. There's a lot of other possibilities here available to you, whether it's from the Middle East, Africa, South America, Europe, Central Europe. The world is open for business. Any comments? Well, we wish you well, and I appreciate the opportunity. Yes?
Melissa first.
Sorry, I was just going to ask, what are some of the benefits to being a member of the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, it's like coming to West Valley College. In other words, by that I mean there's an organized system in place, specifically tailored for business, nothing else. We're not into social, it's business development. And that's probably the major benefit. We could do a lot of research on our own, but it's not, when we get it in a concentrated form, it's much better. It's like going to a BDC, get a mentor. Why do we have to reinvent everything? No, people already know. Well, we've accumulated experience over the years that's at your fingertips. You don't have to reinvent anything. You go right to the source. Thank you.
Just wanted to thank you so much,
Thank you.
all three speakers, for your inspirational words and for your conversation about globalization, because it's really part of everything we're doing, everything we're seeing. It's part of our personal and our business lives, and I know we filled this period really well with a fantastic set of presentations, but our speakers are here. So they're available to speak with you if you have questions. I know some of you are going on to other classes. So thank you for